White power for white people, black power for black people, brown power for brown people, yellow power for yellow people, and all power for everybody else. Right across the playing field, so nobody can say that they've been discriminated against or there's not no equality for them. And then people sold that out. Killed Fred Hampton, right? Locked up all the heads. And then now you have riffraffs running this now. Talking about walk down the street and just holding guns and just walking down the street just holding guns. What's the purpose of that? To do what? What's the purpose of walking down the street holding guns when some people just use guns and killed your people, but you're just walking around just holding guns, you know, on that we shall overcome, wade in the water BS, when you guys have guns. All these gun club, Negro gun clubs out here. Speaking about gun club, again, we don't know whether stuff's real or whatever. But if you have a arm and it's licensed, it's probably in your best interest that if you get stopped by a highwayman and you have this gun in your possession that's registered and licensed, keep your hands on the dash or put your hands out the window. Don't be foolish and go reaching for something to show them that you're licensed to carry and all that stuff. Because they shoot people for holding a phone. They shoot people for much less. They shoot people for toy guns. So you let them know up front, I have a weapon, but it's registered. I have a right to carry it because it's registered in this state or whatever. Let me just get they're gonna shoot you. Yeah, they're gonna shoot you. Why wouldn't they? Have you not seen the pattern of how they deal with stateless people? How do they know that you're stateless? Because your stuff's registered. And as soon as you register it, that means it's their property now. How is it theirs? It's mine because I registered it, because they hypothecated it. Just look up hypothecated and you'll understand how they own things without touching them. Own things without touching it. And more than likely, it's your stuff that they're gonna own. Why? Because you registered it. Whether it's a business, whether it's a car, whether it's a gun, whatever. As soon as you register it, you're telling them you're stupid, right? As soon as you register it, you're telling them that you're stupid. You're letting them know that you're stupid. Because why would you register it? Well, because they're the government, and no, they're not government, they're foreign private corporation. Who told you that they're government? Oh, you're black leaders with the civil rights and all that stuff. Now we know why our people are stupid, because they never talk. They always let the black leaders talk on their behalf. In 1920, Garvey made comments that white people would resent black politicians making laws to govern the white man. This is what Garvey said. A terrible mistake was made between 40 and 50 years ago when black men were elected to legislative assemblies all over the country, especially in the southern states and even at the national capital. Even at the national capital. when representatives of this race occupied seats in Congress. The mistake was made as far as the white people were concerned. There was a state of disorganization in the nation, and in that state, certain things happened to mere chance. In the chance, dozens of black men became senators and congressmen. This opened up the eyes of the white nation, the possibility of the black man governing the white man in the United States of America. The possibility of the black man making laws to govern the white man, this possibility drove them almost to madness, which we're experiencing today. Right? We're experiencing the madness that their ancestors have been drove to, that trickled down through the progeny to these mercenaries that we're dealing with today, that don't respect the rights of nations. They don't respect the constitutional rights. They don't respect the civil liberties that people are endowed with by their Creator. This possibility drove them almost to madness. In suddenly rejecting the spirit of the Constitution and the Declaration of Lincoln that all men are created equal, hence the determination was arrived at that never again would it be possible for the race of slaves to govern the race of masters within these United States. But, you know, our people, they don't get it. That they're the problem. Always pointing at somebody else and never look at themselves as being the problem. It's always somebody else that did it. It's never ever our people. They always have some boogeyman that they're gonna blame for everything that happens to them, instead of taking some goddamn responsibility, because it's going on, what, 500 years since so-called slave, whatever like that. Y'all still complaining about some slave stuff? And you haven't gotten any type of restitution, reparations, or anything yet? And all these later people who got their ass kicked, they already got stuff, to the point where everybody in their nation got hit off with a check from the violator. And all those people that were abused and got something had a nationality. None of them were stateless. Even if they created a fake nationality in order to get whatever they had to get, they were at least smart enough to do that. Make up a nationality. And our people playing. You're going to read an article called "How Does It Feel to Be a Problem?" by Lauren Anderson. How Does It Feel to Be a Problem? By Lauren Anderson. And we'll just read a quote from this article by James Baldwin. "What I try to suggest is that the terms in which people speak about the Negro problem have nothing to do with human beings. There seems to be an extraordinary assumption on the part of a great many people in the American Republic that Negroes are either saints or devils, that the word Negro describes something and it doesn't. There isn't such a thing as a Negro." Don't forget, Negro is Spanish for black. So you can say there is no such thing as a black. Right? That the word black describes something and it doesn't. There is no such thing as a Negro, but there is such a thing as a boy or a man or a woman who may be brown or white or green or whatever. But when you say the Negro problem, you create a big monolith, and beneath this wall are thousands of millions of human beings' lives which are being destroyed because you want to deal with an abstraction. Think about all these people shot up that they willingly and openly called black, i.e. Negro, in the news. And then keep in mind the James Baldwin saying that there's no such thing as that. And that there's millions of human beings. Because they're human beings, then they're not Negroes. If they're human beings, then they have a nationality. Because the races are human. And every single human belongs to a nation. What's your nationality? I'm black. Oh, sorry. You don't qualify for anything. Because there's no such thing as that as an identity. You're going to go look up The Ultimate Solution of the American Negro Problem by Edward Eggleston. Edward Eggleston, Eggleston. The Ultimate Solution of the Negro Problem. How to Interact with Police While Carrying by James Tarr, T-A-R-R. How to interact with police while carrying. Keep in mind, this applies to nationals only. This does not apply to Negro, black, colored people who want to go register their firearms without a nationality, not reserve their rights on those contracts, and then, you know, get shot up trying to show them their gun permit. This doesn't apply to Negroes, blacks, coloreds, African Americans, the its. If you're seeing this video and you classify yourself as it, Negro, black, colored, or whatever like that, this part does not apply to you. Do not attempt anything that's said here. Do not attempt anything. Matter of fact, we're not even going to read it. Go research it yourself, because we're not even being responsible for people who don't have nationalities but want to try to carry. We're not even taking the responsibility. You go read it yourself. How to Interact with Police While Carrying, James Tarr.